Welcome to our tutorial on Microsoft Access. This tutorial will focus mostly on how to use different features of Microsoft Access 2007. Remember that it is not made professionally, or I did not invest much time or effort on it. I just thought a simple tutorial on Microsoft Access may help some people. And this tutorial is provided from Just Education Inc. So we're just telling that we will focus on the different features of Microsoft Access 2007. So what are the features we'll focus on? Just go through the title. We'll see how you can import a text file into Microsoft Access and create a database from it. I think if you maintain existing transactions in a text file or in a comma separated file, then this process may help. And then we will show how to normalize the data, the imported data, how to normalize those data. I think it mostly focuses on the table structure or database design. Actually, here we will not cover the details about data normalization. It will be pretty much simple. I think who are from computer science undergraduate background, they know how to do it, but who are just using Access and don't have any undergraduate degree, they may find it a little bit useful. I think we'll not cover everything here, just the simple stuff. And then we will show the relationship view in Microsoft Access, how to create relationships among different tables and how to edit them. And also we will show how to validate the data inside Microsoft Access tables. Just integrity check that the data maintains some rules, some predefined business rules, so that the data are consistent with the business rules. If the table data do not maintain the consistency or integrity check of the business logic, then errors will be displayed or the data will not be accepted, something like that. And we will create some user interface forms for data entry or data view. I think we can display, let's for example, how to display all the books information from the books table, all the transaction information from the transaction related tables, something like that. And we will also show how you can navigate from one user form to another user form and how to do that in Access, and just code that or implement that. Then we will write some queries, just to display how queries are written in Microsoft Access. And we will also show you the query builder or query design wizard, how to use that wizard to create different queries. It's just a view of the query design window. And then we'll also create reports to display some information in a report form. I think in usual software, I think business application, the main components are forms and reports. In forms, using forms, different sort of data are entered. It can be some housekeeping data like all the book information, all the author information for a library. And it can be some transaction related data entry when someone lends a book or when someone returns a book. Those belong to forms. And reports, it's just some statistical information. So after 10 months you can check what the top 10 buyers or which books are the best sellers. So those things come into reports. So if you know all the concepts that will be displayed or shown in this tutorial, hopefully it will help you to create a complete software project in Microsoft Access. may not be 100%, but you can do almost all. Though for better software, you also need to use some programming concept PVA in Microsoft Access. We will not go to that part yet. Maybe we'll try to show that in another tutorial. Okay, let's see. So our first tutorial will be how to import text file data into an Access database. It's pretty simple. So first we'll be creating a database here. Let's tell it library management. So we have got a database with one table called table 1. I think we can close this table, and okay, we can come to this letter. Let's see. We want to bring a text file data into this Microsoft Access. Let's say browse desktop data.csv. It's a comma separated file. All the library book transactions are listed here with commas for each columns. Each column is separated by a comma, and each new transaction is in a new line. So it is coming here. Let's see our tutorial here. So creating a blank database, we can create, I think there was a blank database option when you first open Microsoft Access. You will see it. And apply format to the data for proper interpretation of the text file data. Okay, come here. So here we can see there are different sorts of data: transaction date, last name, first name, title, sex, birth date, address, city. Yeah, there are many different information under this file. Now to bring those data into Microsoft Access, you need to confirm that you interpret the data the way it is now. Let's see, here you can see the months. Those are displayed as day, month and year. So when you import the data, you need to make sure that the data are interpreted in Microsoft Access in the same way. So I think I can go here in the advanced. You can see it's delimited because it's comma separated. Field delimiter comma, that's fine. We are not using the fixed width, and our data is formatted as day, month, year. We have used only 2 digits for years, so we are removing that part, and we have used this as the date delimiter. We don't have any leading zeros in dates, so we are not putting this. We are keeping it like this. We don't have any time, but we can keep it like this, and decimal symbol we can keep it like this. So let's go to the next step. We can see that the first row, it contains the field name, so we can take it as a field name. So we can go to the next step. Here you can change the data type for each of the field, but we are not going to that deep yet. We can just okay, I think I can finish it here. We don't need to save it. So this is the table that brought all the data. Let's see what it could bring. Transaction. Okay, it almost brought right data. I think it was giving an error that there is a wrong field name. Let's see. We can check it in the design view. I Microsoft Access window is a little messed up here, looks like. Let's fix it, then I will come back. Okay, it was just because of the windows were resized. We can see that this is not the right header name. I think it was actually book title. It was title or book title, something like that, but it was for book title. So this is what it is. So we can just rename this table. Book transactions. You can put any name you want. Okay, let's see. Okay, we worked on the field name wrong. How to fix that we know, and we can apply the formatting and we can create the blank database. Go to the next step. Now in this text file, all the information are into one file, and at this moment in Microsoft Access, all information are into one table. I think this is not a good database design approach. In database design, we actually divide data into different tables based on some relationships among the data, among the different columns of the data. I think there are some theories on normalization, like first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, or up to fifth normal form. So, but we will not go in deep on that, but we will show how Microsoft Access provides different tools to normalize data. So actually we have to use table analyzer to normalize the data. Table analyzer gives two options to normalize. One is auto normalization, another is manual normalization. Auto normalization, it will divide the one table into multiple tables automatically based on some assumptions. Practically we will be using the manual normalization here. And okay, let's I think we can also cover the primary key for tables. I think when we will normalize the data, we will get different tables, and for each table we can define a primary key for the for that particular table, data or table, whatever we say. The primary key is just for each of the row for that table, the primary key has to be unique, and it has to represent that particular row or particular entity or particular object, whatever you say. Let's say for students, the student number can be the primary key, because based on the student key you can identify the student, and you will get only one student. Okay, now we can go to Microsoft Access, and you can see the database tools and this analyze table. So this selected table, it will get analyzed. So next, let's see what happens here. So it has generated 4 different tables, 5, 6, 7. I think it doesn't look pretty well here. Okay, I think before this, maybe we can just try to understand what the data is about. Okay, it is keeping book related transactions. There are some members, there are some books, and the members are renting those books. So there are some member information, there are some book information, there are some author information, and there are some transaction information. This is a transaction date, transaction information. These are all user information, and there are some book information here, and each book has an author. Now, without being too specific or too perfect, we can say that when we design a database, first we try to identify the different sort of objects or different sorts of entities or different sorts of concepts. So those are used here. So we can say one concept is here the members, another concept is the books, another concept is the transactions. This transactions actually not a new concept, separate concept. It is just a relationship between books and members. And we can also think about the author as a concept. We can keep it as part of the book, we can separate it out. So author is another concept that is related to each book. So when we will normalize the data, I think these will be the all different concepts or different tables. So if you understand the normalization theories, you will be able to do it perfectly or way better than the way I will show in this tutorial, but I'm not going there at this moment. So okay, we can use the analyze table. Next, so we just saw that it creates many tables. It looks like all the concepts we have talked about: books, authors, members, transactions. It's not limited to this. It creates many more. Maybe something is not doing right. So I want to decide on my own. So one thing is this last name. It can go to members. Just giving the table name. Now first name, title, birth date, okay, city, address, postal code, home phone, business phone. Okay, in practical normalization, this members table can be divided into multiple tables, but we are keeping it like this. Okay, cell phone is also related to the member, and there is another concept that is called book concept. For each book there is an ISBN number. So this is the books table. We need the book title, author information, okay. So these are all the books, these are all the members. We could take author and put into another author table. We can do it later, just to demonstrate how to create tables on our own. So for this books table, we can make this ISBN as the primary key. Just click on this symbol, and for members it's a key generated by Microsoft Access. It will be just a number 1, 2, 3, 4, something like this. So we can keep it like this, and we can move further. Okay, books contains null values. To use the fields as a primary key. Okay, I think books table, it has got some wrong data, so we have to fix it. What I will do, I will open this table and remove all the null values for the books table for the ISBN key, or I will assign a new ISBN key to that null value, and then I will come back to this later. Okay, I can take you until the fixing because I have to redo it. Okay, let's see. ISBN. You can see okay, maybe the last record, it doesn't have any ISBN. So far I can see, yeah, it doesn't have any ISBN. I think this is the ISBN number. So I can put ISBN 2. Maybe this is for author 2. This is for books 2. I can do it here as well. Okay. be right, but I have to redo the analyzation part. Maybe I can do it myself and then come back to the tutorial again. So after fixing the data, I'm coming back here. So we are at this stage and I can go next. We have set ISB to a primary key. It's the primary key. We may have to rename this table. Table 1 doesn't look good. Next. So it is telling there are some typographical errors for table members. It's just an assumption from Microsoft Access. It tries to find out similarities and dissimilarities among the different rows and tries to say is there any typographical error or no. Maybe let's say if this is Ahmed Shumon, Ahmed Mike, if it were like Ahmed XYZ or something like that, it may assume that if all these informations are similar to this, but only instead of Mike there is AM or AX, something like that, or it's blank, Access may think that this is an error, so it will tell you to fix it. I think I'll not go details in this on that. I'll just show that you can fix it by selecting which one you think is right for this, and similarly which one is right for this and for this. I think I will assume that we have all the valid data, so we will not try to change anything. So the blank means leave as is, or you can select the leave as is option. I think fixing typographical errors, we assumed no error, so we have kept blank. Leave as is also fine. Okay, go to next. It is telling that there are some errors with the ISBN numbers or with the key values, so it is telling us to fix it. So you can see this is more accurate, it has more information than this one, so we'll go with this. Then I think this thing also will be converted to these things. So same thing. So this is also fixed. Okay, we can stop here. We can close all. We can see. Now we will rename this table. Press F2. All transactions I can save, and from here I think I can display this data as object type. So all are now tables. Okay, what's next? We want to create and edit relationships among these tables at this moment. So database tools, relationships. So these are the different relationships among these tables. I think there are concepts like one-to-one relationship, one-to-many relationship, many-to-many relationship. Consult in a database design guide, you will understand. I think I will not go further than this. So this is the way we can see the relationships. I think as we have told that we also want to show you how to create tables on our own. So I think we can first create the author table, and we can also show a relationship with the books because author is part of books. Let's close it. We're saving. The arrangement has got saved. Now say create table. So that's right. I think you can add a field here, but I think I will go to the design view, ID and name. I have to mention the data type, text, and you can mention the size of the data. So save it, name. I think at this moment I will bring all the authors from authors tables to this table. So I will make this thing as the primary key, but ultimately I will make this thing primary key. I will make this primary key simply because when I will copy all the author information from the books table to this table, so that only the unique authors get inserted into this table. So design primary key. So save it, close it, open it, books. Okay, there are just three data here. Okay, let's see if I copy and paste. Okay, this looks okay. Close all, design view. I think I can make ID the primary key and save it for a while, then close all. If we go to the relationships, so this is the way it is now. I think we can update the books table with the author information with the author ID and remove this author column just after a while. Okay, that's you are telling that we can assign the author information into the books table and refer to the authors table for the author column. So let's see, in books there is an author. What we can do, author ID, let's say it's a number, and as we want this information to come from authors table, and we want this primary keys 1, 2, 3, those to be in the author ID field. At this moment they are referring the names, but we will be using the numbers. I think we will work on this new field and then delete this field. So let's see, books, design view. So for this column we'll be using lookup. Let's see, combo box, table query, and the information will be coming from authors. It is actually the query design. Add, close. I think this can work, or we can only take the ID, and that will also work. Okay, let's just take the ID. So close this. Close this. Now open the books table. So we can select the author for books. So we know that for books 1 it's author 1, so the ID is 1. I think according to author table, authors table, this is 2 and this is 3. So it is done. So we can delete this. Okay, so this concept is called foreign key. From books, the author is referring to the authors, and I think we will rename this author ID to author again. So we can go to design view, we can make this change, we can save, we can close. Now let's see the relationships. We don't see any relationship between authors and books, but we can create it. We can bring the authors here, and to create a new one, I think you can come from here, create new. I think we can take in any order, create new, left table, let's see authors, right table, see books. This is the ID, the corresponding ID in corresponding is author. I think authors table ID value and books table author value should be the same. So okay, and for referential integrity, it will ensure that in the books table, in the author column, there will be no data that doesn't belong to the authors table. We can do it if you want that. If one table gets changed, another table data is updated or deleted. Okay, I think we will not be working on this at this moment, relationship like one to many or many to one. We can just keep it as it is. Okay, so we have got 4 different tables, and the relationship view looks like this. We can save it. Okay, now we will be using some data integrity check. I think we want the postal code to be look like always in a particular format, and if something is not according to that format, the data will not get accepted or will be shown an error message. For the telephone number, same thing. So let's get back. For postal code and telephone number, those belongs to here. Okay, design view, postal code. You can see the input mask, so it's zip code. So what it should be, I think for Canada it's 6 digit 3 4 5 6 6 digit. If you want, you can keep a space. Okay, without showing further, I'm just stopping here, and let's for example say any of the phone number. Okay, it's saving phone number. I think this is the format we can keep as it is. So this input mask is done. Now some validation rule on the data. Let's see what we can say for the dates. Design view, let's say birth date. Validation rule, we just want to say that this has to be greater than 1900, or say 1850. Say it has to be greater than 1850. here in this format. I think we have used this as the delimiter for dates. Okay, it is just telling that existing data may not be valid for this column. We don't care at this moment, whatever it is. Okay, so this validation check and lookup. Okay, let's see. For members table, we want to insert a new data, so we have to insert his sex here. We can type it on our own, or we can bring a drop down box here that will include M and F. Then from there we can select. So what we can do, go to design view. We want this sex to be lookup, so go to lookup. So there is male and female. If you insert data, you can select one of these. So this is called the lookup. I think also for books table, this is also kind of lookup. Sort of foreign key, or I think it also belongs to one kind of normalization. I think multi-valued attributes or something like this. I think I'm not going there. Now what can we do? Okay, we'll be using some user interfaces so that we can browse through the member information. We can also insert new members. We can create an interface to browse through the transactions, also to insert new transactions. So let's get back to Access. So what we want to create is form. Let's see, I think I will be getting a members form, so I'm selecting members so that the form is based on the members. Create form. So we have got the member form. If you want to see it, you can form view. This is actually the view in the run format, not in the design or working format. So you can browse through all the transactions for these members are being shown here. Okay, we can again go to design view. So we am giving the name as form members. Sometimes people use FRM as a name for forms, just to be shortcut and simple. Okay, let's see. We wanna create all transactions. Create form. So it is there. We can see it in the form view. Okay, now how to insert a new members. Let's see. We are here, this button. You can insert new records, and after inserting the records, you just have to move from this record by selecting these or these. So this is the new member. So I'm just moving away from it, going to the first record and going to the last record. So it is the new member. The data has got inserted into the table. Okay, this is the form, all transactions or transactions, whatever doesn't matter. So if we close this, see the members, the new member is here. I think by default it took something, whatever. And maybe we can show one more step. I think we can show how to create link one form to another. We can see that there are two forms under the forms section here. So let's see. We wanted to insert data, another user interface. Okay, I think it was taken from something else. I was writing something else. Now using some button controls, another way. Okay. So let's see, in the members form we want another button that will link to the transactions form, and maybe we will be able to create another transactions for this member. I think let's see design view. So design, so form operation, open form. I think on button click, what will happen? We will be opening the transaction. Okay. Now this button, it can be in a picture format or it can be in text format. Open. Okay, this is a button. ATM transaction. Finish. So if we see it in the form view, open transaction, let's see. So it is opening the transaction. You can create a new transaction. I'm not going further into this. Maybe it will depend on your specific application. You need to decide from which form you want to go and how to link them, or you can define the operations there. And there is also some options. You can create a blank form and design the way you want it. I think let's see. Close all. Okay, I think I can close this. I don't need to save it. Close all. I think I can create a blank form. And in that case we can we came to the form design view, and we can place some button, form operation, open form. Let's see, it will open the member form, open form. Okay, you can give a meaningful name. I'm just keeping as it is. Form operation, open form, transaction. Okay, if you now see it in a form view, it is opening the member form, it is opening the transaction form. So maybe in your application you can define a form that will be coming in the beginning. You just have to set it as a startup for form 2. Okay, so we have seen how to create some user interface. Now queries. We'll be doing several queries. I think from the table we'll try to reconstruct from the individual tables like books, authors, members. We're gonna get back to our original data by merging those data, and also we want to find the top 10 buyers. I think who spent the most to buy book, and also the books that were sold the most, I think based on how many times they were sold. So let's see, first reconstruct data from the tables. Actually we'll be using the query design window to create this. And what is the concept? Actually we know all transactions. It contains all the transactions for all of the books, so we can take all the transaction from all transactions and we can find out the, let's see, the way I have told. For all transactions table we'll take all the transactions, then for each of the transaction we'll take all the associated books, and for each of the books we'll take all the associated members, and in that case the books and members table will be associated with this query. So let's see, create query design. We have to take all transactions, then books, then members, then maybe authors. Okay, I think book transactions, it is the original table with all the data, so we'll not be using it. All transactions, it contains all the data. Let's see what we can do. You can click on this and see some properties. What do you want? We want all transactions from all transactions table. Based on the ISBN, we will be taking all the associated books. Okay, let's see. I think when I record, the mouse double click doesn't work. The same, all records from all transactions, members. Okay, we can see this joint member from the books table. Author ID, author ID are equal, should be equal or should be the same value. I think this line also indicates what the mapped looked up values, so we're just keeping it like this. Okay, now what we want to include into the query output. I think we just fix the logic here. We want this, we want all member related information, we want all book related information, we want all author information. Maybe some data is redundant, some data are redundant. What we can say, reconstruction. This is a query, so you can see there is a query section here, reconstruction. Let's run and see. Okay, all records from books. Okay, I think that was the point. So we can see there are 47 rows of data, and these book transactions, also has 47 records of data. So the reconstruction query worked well. So I think this is the query design view for the reconstruction. Now we'll be going to the top 10 buyers. What is the logic? I think the way we have to go, we have to check through each of the transactions and corresponding the books and corresponding prices. We have to sum those prices for each individual members and then sort them. It is in descending order based on the sum. I think we have to use some group by members, SQL syntax and those. I think I will not try to explain the queries and syntax and all those things. I think I will more focus on the how to use the Microsoft Access interface. Let's see. Top 10 buyers. What do we see? For all transactions, we are considering the books and also considering the members. Those transactions will be grouped by the members, and for each members will be sum the price, but the price has to be associated with the transactions for that member, and then we will order them in descending order. So the step that we are showing: first name, members, group by, last name, total price, ID, members. Just a second. Okay, now we'll be creating the top 10 buyers queries. Create query design. I think I have written it in a SQL format. I will just directly use that. I can go to the query view, then come back to the design view. I think I'm not explaining the query much, but what you can see, this join properties, we're considering all transactions, all records, and the corresponding books. And I think all transactions, each transaction is associated with a member. So now here we are considering all transactions, all data from all transactions, and only the matching data from members that are associated with those transactions. Now here you can see we are grouping. That is the table. You can see that this is the table. We are grouping all the data by the members ID field, and as we are taking all the matching information, so only the book prices or members, those are associated with the transactions, those will be considered. Members or books, those are not associated with any transactions, will be discarded from this. So, and we are doing some sum on the price thing for each member, and ultimately we are taking the top 10 of them. If you can see it here, select top 10. So if you run this, so we can get the total price, something like this. Design view, you can see sum of books price as total price, and we have grouped by members. So actually we are defining the members by this. For each member we are grouping the data, transaction data, then we are doing the sum on the prices, and then we are sorting them, ordering them by sum of book price. We are ordering them in descending order. So this is one thing. Now we can go back to the now the top 5 best sellers. We can also consider in the same way. From the all transactions table we can consider all the transaction data, and we can find out the books, those who are sold for the most time. We have to apply the count, and in top 10 buyer we sorted the data, we grouped the data by members. Now we have to group the data by books. In top 10 buyer we applied sum on the book price. In top 5 best sellers we have to apply count, a function, on the books. It just will display for each member how many books, for each books how many times it got sold. I think I can go. I think this is the way it looks like. This is the expression. It is telling count of all. It's actually okay. So book title, group by book title, group by author, group by ISBN. Anyway, I think I will come from the query. Practically you should be using query design wizard to create all those things, or sometimes if you feel comfortable to write the basic SQL query first, and then you can come back to the query design to adjust. Let's see, create query design. I'm not taking it, I'm pasting it. Design view. Actually it has to look like this. You can add these two tables and make it look like this, and it will work. But if you want to see, we are taking the top 5 and count of all as, we are doing book sell count, and we also want to show the book title, book author. The main point is we are grouping here by book. Previously here we did group by member. Here we are doing group by books, and we are counting the number of times the book has been sold. Here we are summing the price of the books for each member, and we are sorting it in descending order for this column. Actually, you can say it's actually indicating books.id. It should also work because we are counting the how many times the books got sold or something. So design view, design, run. Okay, I think we have only book sale count. I think something is not right. I think this is the thing. We are counting all the records that will come from this. I think this gives the right fellow. Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I think it's more focused on the how to use it. Now what we have to do, we can create some report. I think for all of the top 10 buyers, we will be showing all the book information, including some member information. So how to use that? Create this report. First we will create a query so that it gets all the data for the top 10 buyers. Then we will use the query for the report. The logic will be, we have to consider the top 10 buyers table, and from the top 10 buyers table we will be taking all the buyers. From top 10 buyers we will be taking all the buyers, and for all the buyers, all the top 10 buyers, we will considering corresponding transaction data. Okay, I think it has to be transaction data, or I think transaction only contains date and ID, that's fine. And then for all transaction data we will take book details from the books table. It looks like this: top 10 buyers, all of them. Then for all transactions for these buyers, and then for all these transactions, corresponding transactions, we will be taking the books. Okay, let's do it now. Let's try to use the query design. Okay, so let's see, we may need to save these queries first. What is this? Top 10 buyers, best sellers. Now query for the report. Okay, we can use the top 10 buyer, and then we can take the members and books. Okay, what do you want? We want all information from here, and it really doesn't matter which information we take from here or not. I think I can take this paste it. Okay, so we are taking only the matching rows from the top 10 buyers to all transactions, and we are taking for all transactions the corresponding books. Now if you run it, so it is showing all the book information for the top 10 buyers. Okay, I think I'm naming it to query report. So close all. We'll be using a report now. Okay, so it displays everything like this, just a straightforward report. This is the report view. We may want to add some flavor to this report. We may want to see the price or amount each member spent. We may want to group them by the members rather than displaying the member name in each row. We can display it as a group. So let's do that. Okay, it's just the basic report. We can create a report wizard. I think I can go to the report wizard. Let's see. It will be based on the query report. So select it, create a report wizard. You maybe know what we want to display is, let's say, first name, last name for the buyers, maybe the book title, maybe the corresponding price, maybe the corresponding author, and transaction date. Let's say we'll see if we need this total or not. Book title, price, author, transaction date. Okay, how the information will be grouped? We want to see it by members, because we want to see that for the top 10 members, top 10 buyers, what book they bought. So it should be grouping by members, not by transactions, not by books. So we want for the top 10 buyers the details of transactions and books. So this will be the thing. Any grouping levels, we can use grouping level. In that case, they will be shown as a group. The member name will not repeat. So I think, let's see. I think first name, last name, that works. First name, last name. No, I think this is good enough. Okay, in terms of sorting, let's keep it like this. Keep it the default one. Okay, we can change the look. Okay, keep it this. display the total and order by total. So sorry. Okay, I recreated the report and the report looks like this. I have used two levels of grouping, first name and last name. Maybe we could just create only one. There are some stuff to be done. If you want to, you can go to the design view and you can change the page heading, what you want to show in the detail. I think you can also bring, if you want to add any more information to this report, you can put it where you want. And there will be some fields if you want to sum or count something. Okay, let's see. I think this was all I wanted to show. Yeah, looks like these were all. Okay, good luck. And as I have said, I just started creating this tutorial without much preparation. So hope you will get some benefit out of it.